So today I'm going to talk about the start of my drug addiction, I guess, and alcohol addiction when I was 15, 16, and why I turned to drugs and hanging out and alcohol to, I guess, really cope with my problems. So around 15 is when my house burned down. My house I lived in, grew up in, had my whole childhood here. The apartment, actually, it was not a house, it was an apartment. The apartment that we grew up in burned down. We're not gonna get into why or what happened or that. That's a whole nother story too. But the apartment ended up burning down. We ended up having to move in with my grandmother. And that was a thing. So we moved into a 2-bedroom, me, my mother, my little brother, and my sister, into a 2-bedroom that my grandmother was living in with her partner, with my step-grandfather. And you see there's a hesitation as to what I even want to address this guy as, but just very uncomfortable living situation in this house with this guy, and just living very toxic. And so that kind of pushed me out to the streets, kind of had me hanging out more, not wanting to be at the house. And when I would come back to the house, I would be faded. I was high, out of my mind. I wasn't like really there. I was there, but I wasn't there, you know? So also around this time is when my father first had his first round of cancer, brain cancer. He had tumors on his brain, and that's when he was first in the hospital. Around this same time when I was 15, 16. And also at this time is when I came out. So I was like talking to girls and stuff like that on the low, but I fully, completely came out and was like, this is what it is. So that also was like just a weird vibe, you know, at home. Not even them making me feel uncomfortable. It was kind of me feeling uncomfortable and adjusting to like, damn, I like girls. Like, you know, this is my lifestyle. Like, it was kind of like me being okay with it. More so than my family, because they didn't really make me feel no type of way. Immediate family. In the household that I was in. My mom, my grandmother, my sister, my brother, like them people. Now my dad's side, my father ended up disowning me because of this. Now my father ends up disowning me because he finds out that I am a lesbian. And I'm dating girls now. And so while he is disowning me, he's also sick and now in the hospital fighting cancer. So that was just a weird dynamic. I go visit him in the hospital with his girlfriend at the time and my brother, and we see him laying in a hospital bed. He must have just had surgery. He had his head all bandaged up and stuff like that. And at this age, I was really, really emotional. My feelings were all over the place. I didn't have no control over anything. So I was crying. I did not like to see my father that weak, that like unable, and like just not himself. It hurt me. And shit, just thinking about it right now is making me a little emotional. But he couldn't understand. He didn't like the fact that I got emotional. And so he ends up yelling at me, telling me I'm the oldest, I'm supposed to be strong. And so, yeah, that is what I remember from my father being in the hospital. Around 15, 16 is very traumatizing. So yeah, now my dad's sick, and now he's in the hospital. Now I'm like forced to be strong because I'm his oldest child, but I'm still 15, 16. I think I was 16 at this point. But yeah, after he had already disowned me because I'm a lesbian. Now I'm a lesbian. I'm disowned. Now I'm some weak ass crying bitch. Like, so I'm really smoking weed. Now I'm really drinking alcohol. Now I'm really like suppressing my feelings, you know, seemingly. And yeah, that is how that happened. Just basically not really knowing or having the outlet to express all those feelings. Just being told you have to be strong, you can't freaking cry. And I'm a crier. I am. I'm so emotional. Any little thing, even if my mother tells me she loves me, I cry. Now my dad was, before he disowned me, and even after he disowned me, we kind of like, after he got out the hospital, I guess he had a talk with my mom about me being a lesbian and that